if let's say for example, because he didn't even try to jump for the ball when he just went straight into Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, what I saw was that the reaction from the City players wasn't strong. It was like, oh, it just happened
like football play lah. Yeah, correct.
Yeah lah, correct. Then suddenly out of nowhere, he kicks the ball away. There's a yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand like why did it come to a point where that has to be a yellow card? Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Futbol Kaki. I'm your host Elder and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bro, Midet. Midet, how you doing, bro?
Doing okay. Quite a eventful weekend. We saw each other, right, in person. Yeah.
We recorded a lot of funny chit chatter stuff.
Yeah, a lot of funny stuff lah.
I think laughed at that in a very long time.
Yeah, I haven't laughed at it in a very long time. I think it's always fun when we meet up as a chit chatter. Then we get to like do all those like fun side challenges lah.
Yeah, but I think it's also because we all know each other for so long. So it's like literally to us, it's just I see you all again.
Yeah,
it's like we meet up for the first time in like
a few months lah. Yeah, at least 5 months, right? Around there.
About there.
No. I think the last time was the Lenora's 1 month. But
Lenora's one we didn't really like hang out because he was so busy like hosting and everything lah.
Yeah, correct. That's true lah. Yeah.
But then for this one was like the first time I think all of us just sat down and just like hung out and do nonsense.
Yeah. And I think also like Amos and Sion, they don't know each other, but I think they got along well also lah. Because they
I think they get along quite well. So like just a disclaimer, guys, we all know each other for a very long time, even before Chit happened. So for us, it's just hanging out of old friends.
Yeah, that's why when we go online, right, it's just like hang out with each other. It's the same thing.
But we've got some fun clips that we recorded, really laugh until stomach pain.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, in F1 news, Lando Norris won from pole for the first time ever. Finally, he won. It was utter domination. I was very upset with Ferrari, but I will not get into that because this is, of course, a football podcast. So today, what we are going to talk about is, of course, our weekly segment of what's going on. And then, of course, we've got the three big teams that actually played. So we've got Liverpool beating Bournemouth. You've got United absolutely drawing 0-0 to Crystal Palace. And then, of course, you've got the big game of the weekend, which we will start off discussing first, but we will, after our What's Going On segment, which is, of course, City versus Arsenal. There was a lot of things that happened in this game.
There's a lot to talk about lah.
There's a lot of things that we can really dive into and break into, right? And some of it leaves a lot of question marks. Were certain things intentional? Were they not? Was the referee questionable again?
Michael Oliver.
My favorite referee.
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
Yeah.
I can't stand him, right? And then, of course, we look forward to our match of the week, which, of course, is Manchester United versus Spurs. So, to begin this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki, Miet, what is going on?
What is going on indeed? Okay, so I actually did want to talk about the refereeing, like the questionable refereeing stuff, but I decided to pivot away from that because I think that when we dive into the Arsenal game, right, then we can talk about it there lah.
Yeah.
Especially if you look at the Spurs, the Vicario, he also had a questionable.
Yes.
He had very, very questionable. But I think we can talk about that later lah. So for this week, I'm going to be touching on a bit something different in women's football. Now, interestingly enough, in the world of women's football, there isn't that a huge amount of like eyes on the game, on the footballing games, right? But every once in a while, there's like iconic players that emerge lah. Now, Elder, if you were to think of a female footballer, who is the first few that you think of?
Alexia Putellas, Ella Toon,
okay,
and Aitana Bonmati.
But what about like a general person, a female, like who would they think of?
General? What do you mean by general?
Like maybe an average football fan, like who would they think of?
Average football fan, Alex Morgan.
Yeah, Alex Morgan. So interestingly enough, right, do you know that Alex Morgan officially retired last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the big news, right, the San Diego Wave Alex Morgan announced that she is actually retiring officially from the game. She has announced that she's also pregnant with her second child and she officially decided to stop playing football. She's 35 years old and interestingly enough, she has a very storied career. Would you say that she is a female football player that is like, it's like a combination of like, yes, she's very pretty, but she's also very talented. Do you know what I mean? So it's like easy to market her lah, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so she's 35 years old. She's officially stopped playing football and is a two-time World Cup winner, Olympic gold medalist. She was named the US Soccer Player of the Year in 2012 and 2018. She played 224 games for the USA with 123 goals and 53 assists, which is actually a very, very good return. I think it's like 0.8 for every like game. Yeah.
Yep.
And then she was a 6-time FIFA World 11 selection. And
Yep.
she's one of the few female footballers to have a 20 goal and 20 assist season. I think most of the people that like sort of send her off, if you see the video, right, it's like 26,000 San Diego Wave fans. They paid tribute to her. They all did her iconic tea celebration. You know, the one that she scored against France and she did which I think is inspired from Sophie Turner. Like, what's the tea lah? Very talented, and also I think everyone knows her for being a beautiful footballer lah. But I would say that she's a figure that has been a mainstay in female football for, I think, the past 15, 16 years.
Yep.
So it'll be quite interesting to see what she does next. I think that she'll have a career doing something related to football or like sports or like that. You know what I mean?
I think she would be a very good media personality.
Yeah.
Like probably maybe like an analysis, right? Because let's say, for example, like, I think former US captain Carly Lloyd, she's also gone into analysis also.
Yeah.
And
right.
I would think that maybe like for Alex Morgan, she probably can go into something like that. Because in American sports, a lot of them do this. Like a lot of them, right, they go from like playing the sport, right? Then they will move into like one of the broadcasting networks like NBC, Fox, or whichever, right? To actually become an analyst for the network. So it might be something that she can probably sink her teeth into also lah.
Yeah. I think when I think of her play also, right, she was someone that was not like lightning quick, but it was more like she was like quite tall and then also very good at like finishing and then after that bringing people into the game lah. So I always think of her as like somewhat similar to Harry Kane now, you know what I mean? In that way lah. So it'll be quite sad to see her retire because I think like a lot of people when they think of female footballers, she's the first one that they think of. Especially our generation like growing up. Like, oh yeah, female football, USA football is like her, Megan Rapinoe and stuff like that lah. But an icon of football has officially retired. I think it'd be good to bring some awareness to this because not everyone knows lah. So happy retirement, Alex Morgan. What is going on? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. So for women's football, I do think there are also a lot of other players outside of the US that are actually very good. So like I think Spain's team is very good. I think the England's team was also very good. But so I think it's good to have eyes on the women's game.
Yeah.
But in terms of like general football, right, I think it's because men's football has been established for so long that it's a bit hard for them to reach the mid-level men's football just yet lah. Probably maybe in the future lah. But I mean, it's done before. Caitlin Clark's doing a lot for basketball.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think like it really just takes maybe one very dynamic star to push elevate the sport lah. So Caitlin Clark with injuries in WNBA. Now it's like everyone just watching the WNBA lah. So it's possible lah.
It's possible and it's funny because their games are going to be fighting NFL.
Oh really? Yeah, like
they're going to be played. They're going to be some of the games during the playoffs are going to be on Sundays.
I'm not sure who the Fever are playing.
They're playing the Connecticut Sun.
Okay, that'd be quite fun. Yeah, quite fun. Yeah,
but they got whacked.
Oh, they got whacked.
I think if I'm not mistaken, they lost the first game. Right, they lost 93-69.
Oh, okay, that's bad. But she won Rookie of the Year, so it's okay.
Yeah, correct. So, I think we shall see lah. So, moving on, what we will do is, of course, talk about the big game of the weekend, which happened at the Etihad between Manchester City and, of course, Arsenal. The score was, of course, final score was 2-2, right? But there's so much to unpack. Mm-hmm. Considering the fact that Rodri was out literally in the first few seconds of this game, like the first thing, right? There was a red card that was questionable. There was a yellow card to a player that never played a single minute of football and he was on the bench.
Yeah.
Which I still don't understand, right? And then, of course, there was that controversial Gabriel goal where City fans are saying Martinelli blocked Ederson.
Yeah.
Martinelli blocked Ederson, and then John Stones scoring the late equalizer in the 97th minute. So, I think just to start it off, right, the fact that Rodri got injured was one thing, right? But I got this question, right? Was it intentional?
I don't feel it's intentional lah. It didn't look intentional to me. I think in most cases, right, especially the footballers today, right, they don't foul with the intention of hurting the player lah.
Yeah.
It's not like last time where it's like, okay, they are fouling to hurt the player to get the game to stop or something, whatever like that. I don't feel that it was intentional, but it's quite unfortunate for Man City because Rodri is like I think I've said it before, right? I feel he's the most important player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's the thing that keeps the whole system functioning. I mean, there are stars or this, but he's the most important cog in the system.
Yeah.
I do think, right, that they benefit from the fact that they just nice got Gundogan back. Yeah. So in a way, there's a seasoned veteran that can still play the position, but it does affect the title run a bit. Yeah. Do you feel the same?
Yeah. I feel that it helps also. It helps also because Gundogan knows the system also, and generally the players that he's playing with is also pretty much the same group Just maybe minus a few changes, right? But the reason why I asked whether it's intentional is because if I'm not mistaken, right, Haaland when they immediately after kickoff, right, Haaland ran into Partey and did the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I don't know whether is it retaliation or whether it's just pettiness because I know that Rodri kind of. From what I've seen from the comments, right, I might be wrong, right? He insinuated that it was intentional to Havertz because Havertz was bang into him. Then he's like, I know what you're doing. So it's kind of like the everything's getting heated, right? Then they're basically accusing one another of stuff
Yeah. But then again, right? Sometimes when you're injured, you just blame anybody Do you know what I mean? Whoever they think is the one that fault them So
correct.
To me, you watching it, do you feel it was intentional?
I mean, it looked intentional because honestly, right, my question and where I look at this, right, nobody bangs into a player just immediately after kickoff. You are either going to go forward or you're going to go backwards. What are the odd chances of somebody banging into another player? Immediately after kickoff, it's not even like that. You're not even tackling it. The ball was nowhere close.
I'm going to say, right, that for most players, I would say okay, this is intentional. But for Havertz, he's quite clumsy sometimes.
He's clumsy
So I feel
he's clumsy. He's clumsy.
Yeah, it's you must see the character of the player also But I'm leaning more towards I don't feel it was intentional. It's just an unfortunate situation. I would like to hope that it's not intentional because it'd be very bad if they did that.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, right, we're only speculation because only Havertz will know whether it was intentional or not, right? But speaking of which, right, like remember last week we talked about Haaland bulldozing and just running in behind, right?
Yeah.
My first goal was an example of that.
That was them. I don't know how to explain but it's really like a Wayne Rooney sort of Tevez I'm barging through everybody and then it's going can't go. I was like, yeesh.
No, it was I think who's the player? Was it Savinho?
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Savinho, right? Savinho, right? He really does play like Mahrez.
Yeah, he does exactly the same.
It's quite scary. So, and the thing is that the moment he moved there, right? He threw the ball. He threw the ball right. Arsenal's left back was out position. Right? Haaland just bulldozed right through everybody, just one straight line.
Yeah, he's really the hardest in a straight line, right? To stop. You really have to intentionally grab him and slam him down. Then it's never foul. So you have to make a decision am I going to foul him or not? Yeah.
And then Raya, you can tell Raya just gave up. He's like,
okay, Thank you.
Just go. Okay,
go. 1-0. Let's go. Try again.
1-0, right? But after that, basically, I find that Arsenal scored 2 goals in the first half. I deem both goals Kyle Walker's fault. But the question, the second goal I deem Kyle Walker's fault because he lost Gabriel, he was trying to mark. And Martinelli go in the way of Edison, which is another thing, right? But the question, right, I have, right, is that it comes into questionable refereeing, right, is should the first goal have been allowed, the Calafiori one? Because Kyle Walker got pulled over by Michael Oliver, and then Arsenal did a quick free kick over the top. Kyle Walker's out of position. And then they got the ball, passed to Calafiori. Calafiori scores a beautiful goal.
I think it'll be them sian if that goal is disallowed because of the discontinuing the play.
Correct. So I get City's case. I get City's case because they're saying that Walker was being caught away from Michael Oliver, right? But do you think that is also his fault, or do you think that it's just a Arsenal being aggressive enough or aware enough of the situation to take advantage?
I think if the referee allows the play to go on, then it's you just have to accept that the referee allowed the play to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I maybe they weren't thinking like he would score some screamer like that. I mean, I've never seen this like Calafiori ever score this type of goal.
No, I don't think anybody expected it lah.
Yeah, as in like I don't know him that well, but I've seen like a bit of clips. I didn't expect him to go and like blast it that way. Like, yeah, I think Ederson also stunned. He was like, "Oh my god!" Then he was like, "Yeah, yeah lah." But it was a screamer of a goal lah. Yeah, hell of a goal.
Yeah, it was a nice goal. The second goal by Arsenal, Kyle Walker lost Gabriel. Gabriel leapt up, headed the ball into the back of the net. Gabriel scores 2 goals in 2 weeks, right? Then I think after that, right, everything was kind of okay. And then here comes the most controversial decision. Leandro Trossard got sent off after bumping into Bernardo Silva for a second yellow card, right? But the yellow card only came up right after he kicked the ball away.
Yeah, correct.
So is it a foul that was intentional, or is it because he kicked the ball away that got him the second yellow?
I'm 1000% sure, right? It's because he kicked the ball away. I don't know I don't know what is the official referee, like what they pen down as the decision why. Yep. But I really feel it's because they kicked the ball away. It's like a clear directive, right? That the referees are sort of trying to push to like reduce time wasting lah, in a way. So they did it with like Declan, and after that now they did it with Trossard, right? I find that it's very unfortunate that it's 2 games in a row. It's not 2 games in a row lah, but it's 2 games where Arsenal are the victims of it lah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because in a way, right, the refereeing is very inconsistent. Because if you look earlier, like Doku did the same thing, a time wasting thing, didn't get a single booking. You know what I mean? And I feel that in this style of situation, right, you cannot straight away give a yellow. I mean, like you have to give some sort of like, hey, don't play around already. I'm gonna give you a warning. And then after that, if you do this one more time, then I will give you a yellow lah. Yeah. And or you call him over and you call your captain, the other captain over, and then you say like, no, none of this nonsense lah. So
basically like tell them one more time, and then he's one more time, and you're gonna get something lah.
Yeah, you're gonna punish. If you make it aware, like in that moment, right, that I'm not gonna stand for this, and then after it, like I think it also sucks that it was like the 48th minute, like the 50 something, the 8+ minutes, right?
It was like 51. I think it was like 51. 53.
Yeah, I was like, why? Like why? Yeah, I don't understand lah. So I just think that it was very unfortunate that it's like it doesn't help that it's Arsenal and it's a high profile game. You know what I mean? Like that's why it makes you feel like it's like a bit biased lah.
Correct. And it also shows that basically like it was something that if let's say for example, because he didn't even try to jump for the ball when he just went straight into Bernardo Silva. Yeah. So but the thing is, what I saw was that the reaction from the City players wasn't strong. It was like, it just happens
like football play lah. Yeah, correct.
Yeah lah, correct. Then suddenly out of nowhere, he kicks the ball away. There's a yellow card. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand like why did it come to a point where that has to be a yellow card?
Yeah, no, I don't get it also.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's just I guess the main thing is that they're trying to clamp down on time wasting. Yeah. So it's like they're being extra strict on it. I just feel like in the world of football, right, where there's like a lot of other things that they can be clamping down on, right, time wasting for this type of small measures is like the least of their problems. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, is it that significant that you need to go and like worry about it so much?
Correct. Because this changed the game like totally. Because the other thing is that also like this Miles Lewis Kelly, right? Yeah. He was basically shouting instructions from Arteta to David Raya, and he got a yellow card.
Correct.
The guy didn't even like do anything. So I don't know what Michael Oliver on a boundary or not, but it's just that this red card, right, basically deflated or changed Arsenal's gameplay because it happened at the stroke of halftime. Like, literally before halftime, he got sent off.
Yeah. And it was like a very the extra 8 minutes of halftime. Do you know what I mean? Like the stoppage time. It's like, just let it go lah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
correct.
Yeah, it's the best timing. It's the best timing for you to like blow the whistle, then go to him and tell him like, if you do this one more time, I'm send you off. Yeah lah. I don't get it.
It's Michael Oliver, right? And then there's a lot of theories saying that Michael Oliver and Man City something always happens, and it's like it doesn't make sense, right? Because this second half, right, City had 28 shots.
Yeah, 28 shots. Yeah, they ended up with like 33 shots. Means that in the first half, right, they only had 5 shots.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like very different. Yeah.
But the fact that I salute Arsenal, right, because the fact that they were able to hold on for 45 minutes on 28 shots. 28 shots, right? I think they probably maybe got about 7 on target.
Arsenal had 5 shots the whole game.
Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that second half, City had about 6 or 7 shots on target.
Yeah.
Out of 28. So it wasn't like, let's say, I think they had 70% possession.
Yeah, no, they had 77% possession. Yeah.
I'm talking about second half alone.
Oh, second half alone. Yeah. No,
second half alone was about
70%. The total game, they had 77% possession. With 705 passes compared to Arsenal's, I think 200 something like that.
Arsenal had 208.
Yeah,
208.
Yeah, there's almost 3.5 times the amount of.
Bro, it's to me, it's like, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I find this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because
it's ridiculous, yeah.
It skewed the game totally to City's favor.
Yeah. It's as we said, right? It's really because Arsenal's defenders are damn solid. So it's like they managed to hold off for that freaking long, and then after it's like, oh great, this one last minute goal to go and deflate all of them. I was like, it really sucks.
Which okay, I think let's just talk about that goal to close it off, right? That goal to me honestly was just luck.
Yeah, it was luck. It was luck. Yeah.
It was luck. It's pure luck. Because I think they shot the ball outside. It fell off Kovacic, off his chest, right? By the time the thing, right, Raya's trying to save it, Raya's on the ground. Then Stone just happened to be there, right? Then he shot the ball with a goalkeeper on the floor.
Yeah.
You had 33, 28 shots on goal, right? But the fact that you had 28, right, and you couldn't even score one, and you only scored one at the end.
Yes, correct. I don't know what's going on, man. I just feel it's very very iffy sort of game. I think it was an unfair result, lah. Overall, the whole thing. I don't like it. Yeah.
You think Arsenal should have won?
I think that Arsenal were the better team, until the sending off, lah. Then after it was after that, then you're what are you gonna do? It's a tough situation. Send off. Then after, you have no choice. You have to 10 men. You have to go and sit back and defend. Then after that, they have to go and absorb all the pressure. Yeah. So just questionable refereeing and unfair result, lah. But I think also the Arsenal fan base, right? They are also clinging a lot on the Michael Oliver is very unfair to us or this that thing. But I was like, I don't need to be the Arsenal fan base.
I can't say anything, right? But other than that, right, Michael Oliver, right, is a horrible referee. I think every single one of it, Arsenal fan, Liverpool fan, Man United fan, all hate Michael Oliver.
Yeah. Except Man City.
Bro, I can't stand Michael Oliver. I absolutely hate him.
Yeah, it's just a power trip, man. It's an ego thing, I feel sometimes.
It's a really an ego thing. I don't know what thing. But at the end of the day, the draw put City at the top of the table with 13 points. 1 point ahead of Liverpool, who have the best defensive record in the entire Premier League. We've only conceded 1 goal so far because they have kept another clean sheet after beating Bournemouth 3-0 at Anfield. And I want to route this back. What do you mean, right, when you said, right, that Anistot got Darwin Núñez playing like Suarez?
What do you mean?
You said that I think you said on the side, it's Núñez is like Suarez, under Anistot.
I didn't say that. I don't think I said that.
Was it you or was it Paul?
Probably Paul, but it wasn't me.
Maybe Paul. But I mean, do you think, okay, but going back to that, right, do you think that Darwin Núñez has a new lease of life under Anistot? Or is it just maybe that one-off game? Because he's been known to make bad, under Klopp, he was known to waste a lot of chances, a lot.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the thing about Darwin Núñez, right, that really frustrates me is that he's someone that has a lot of physical ability and he's got the right mentality and stuff like that, but he'll make stupid decisions. You know what I mean? Or he just doesn't make the simple play lah. Yep. But then at the same time, right, he'll do some ridiculous this type of goal lah. He cut in left-legged, he's far left type of thing. This Kepa got no chance. So I think I won't say that he has a new lease of life under this Anistot, because I think Anistot still prefers Jota. Yeah. As the striker, right? But the thing is that this Darwin Núñez, he's got a different skill set that this Jota might not have lah. So Jota is more skillful and he can play as a false nine or this. But I think Darwin is more direct lah. So it was a nice option. I think he played well against Bournemouth. But I wouldn't say that it's a new lease of life. Yeah.
And Luis Diaz also, I think under this system with Slot, he's driving very well. He's actually playing very, very good football recently lah. Yeah. Do you think that this was expected win, or was it less comfortable than you thought it would be?
Actually, I feel that we played good the first half. I feel the second half, right? Actually, Bournemouth played quite well.
Yeah.
It's just that they weren't able to convert their chances, lah. So, I'm okay. I'm more happy with the fact that we managed to like bounce back from the defeat last week. Because last week was also at Anfield, right? And then it's just sort of like a spiraling thing, right? If you screw up another game in a row, right, it can sort of be like the narrative is that, you know what I mean? Like, you're on a sudden downturn lah, or like, it's not as good as Klopp, or you're not mentally strong as Klopp and stuff like that lah. So, it's a happy win, but I wouldn't say it was like the best performance lah. But I'm just happy that it's clean sheet and we like move on from last week. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next part is that Man United, of course, drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park.
Mm-hmm. Dean Henderson turned into Prime De Gea.
Yes.
It's like, I've seen him perform. I can do it as well.
Honestly, right, like that first half, right, we should have been at least 2 or 3 up. Yeah. The league had some chances and everything, right? But it's the summary of Man United in a nutshell. It's like once you get one part of your team sorted out, the other half just doesn't perform.
Yeah.
So the defense, basically, they've kept 3 clean sheets this year so far. The offense cannot score, right? And like, have you seen this stat or not? There's this stat, right? In XG, right, Man United is the 3rd best club in the entire Premier League.
Oh, okay.
In wasted chances, right, Man United is the first with 17. 17 chances wasted in 4 games. No, in about 4 games, right? And the XG was, if I'm not mistaken, expected goals was about 9.
So how many goals did you all score?
Score?
Yeah.
5.
Oh, okay. That's a 4. Like 4. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 5. It's probably about 5. So, I don't know, man. Like
it didn't help that this Dean Henderson, right? I saw like his stats. He was like he had 7 saves. His XG was like 1.9 prevented goals. That means that he stopped close to 2 goals lah. Like 2 really goals lah. Yeah. He had 4 diving saves, 5 saves inside the box, 11 recoveries. Palace also had a few chances to score, but then after Onana, he managed to pull off a few like big saves also lah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I got this question, right? Like, because Eze also did play well. Onana just made a very good double save. Like, Dalo let him go through, right? But question is, right, like, do you think Eze is wasting his future at Palace?
Yes, but in a way also Palace, right, they do a good job of like, they hold on to like one talent for a period of time to be like their star, like Zaha and stuff like that. And I think also they couldn't afford to let this Eze go because they also let Olise go ma. So it's like they have to pick one or the other lah. He eventually, I feel, will leave. And I think that he will probably be a very good fit at like maybe I think he'll be quite good at like a Newcastle or like something like that, or like a Tottenham. You know what I mean?
Not like one of the bigger clubs.
The thing is that I don't think he'll fit Man City. I don't think that he maybe runs enough to be at Liverpool. I feel that at Man U is like there's Bruno, so I don't think he's go in. And then I think at Arsenal as older guy, I also don't think he'll get in lah. So I feel that it has to be like a Newcastle sort of level lah. You know what I mean? So I think it's generally about there lah. Like maybe a mid club, or let's say an opening comes up. Because when you speak of Bruno, right? I know Mark Goldbridge made a lot of comments that he was very like
he was horrible. He was horrible. And the worst part, and me and Paul were talking about this right, just before I move on to like the match of the week, just to close it off, right? Like United was so dominant in that first half. Like it was pure domination, right? Even to a point where like the pundits and the commentators say the first half is just utter Man United dominance, right? Mm-hmm. So my question is, right, if the team was so good, right, your worst player is Bruno Fernandes, right? And your 2 attacking threat is Ahmad, Garnacho, and Zirkzee, right? Why, as a manager, do you deem it correct to take off your best playmaker at the time, which is Eriksen, and remove Ahmad, who's your most threatening player, and then on top of that, you decide to take off Zirkzee, who was your best link-up player, and then you take out Eriksen and you put in Ugarte when it should have been Mainu and Ugarte together with Eriksen on the field, and Bruno should have been taken out.
Yeah, but he's the captain also lah. So there's like a political chemistry side of it lah. But to be honest, I don't really have an issue with the lineup he picked. I feel it was the correct lineup. Like the
No,
Xerxes, Fernandez. I mean, like maybe you don't agree with the substitution, but I don't.
I
feel that
disagree
it's
with the subs.
I don't feel that it was like, how to say, we can blame much on Ten Hag this game lah.
Yep.
I feel it's really like the players just didn't score.
Yeah, because the second half, once he made those subs, you can see all the momentum slip out from Man United.
Yep. Okay. Maybe lah, but I guess you know, that's the thing about Bruno. It's like he frustrates you, right? But he will have like one moment of magic, so it's like very hard to take him out lah. Maybe that's why.
But I don't wanna have like that 9 games of frustration and then that 1 game of magic.
Yeah lah, correct lah. Yeah.
So I really don't want that, right? But it is what it is, right? Man United drew, which brings us to our match of the week, which of course is Manchester United versus Spurs. Now Spurs also are facing some struggles. People are calling Postecoglou a flop, a fake manager. Like he wasn't like living up to the expectancy of what happened, right? Because of the fact that Arsenal beat them, and now Spurs are not also doing very well because
10th. Yeah.
Even though they beat Brentford, right, 3-1, right, they weren't as good as last year, lah. Let's just be frank, lah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a bit of a risky style of football. They did have a bit of a challenging run at the start, I guess. To be honest, it's like there's a bit of Postecoglou where it's like, you know what, you do have to play a bit of like bit more conservative. There's a balance of it. Like it's a bit too chaotic, lah, the style of football.
Yeah.
But the team does, like, how to say, I can tell that he's a very likable person. So I guess that the team does like him, lah. So maybe what are your thoughts? Do you think that Man U got a chance this game? It's at Old Trafford, right?
If I'm not mistaken, yes, it's at Old Trafford. But I also do think that
this is the kind of team, right, that Man U play well against. Like, because they'll play very high line, then you can just counter. So yeah, I will see Rashford playing this game, lah.
It's a pro and con to me, lah. Because at the end of the day, right, like I'm upset with the fact that I have such high expectations for Man United, right? But every time they just end up here. Like, it's a very self-destructive team. I don't know why. Like, they just tend to naturally self-destruct. So I'm more towards the fact that, like, I just want you to win. I just want you to play well and just win and have consistency rather than every single time, right? Like, y'all don't get it. Y'all get frustrated. You go into a shell, then in the end, this game just goes off, right? And I also do think, right, you must remember, Solanke's not been playing well. Solanke destroyed Man United last year.
Yeah, when he was playing for Bournemouth, lah. Yeah.
So that is another thing that I'm a bit worried about also. This is a game United also can lose, honestly. So my question is, before we made our predictions, right? If United lose this game, what of Ten Hag?
I don't think that they will sack him, because the thing is, there's no one else. There's literally no one. Like, the only one available is Jurgen Klopp, and Jurgen Klopp is not going to go to Man United. So it's like the only alternative is like maybe Van Nistelrooy takes over Ten Hag, but then it becomes another like Oli situation. Like, let's say if, for instance, they do well, right? You think this Van Nistelrooy wants to be like a placeholder manager for like the thing? Then let's say they don't do well, he gets sacked, all this. So yeah, it's a timing thing. It's like you have to go and see the right manager available, lah. So I don't think that they will sack him. I think it's like you have to ride it out. Yeah, lah.
We have to ride it out, lah. But I also told Paul, I said, I want a manager with a backbone. I want a manager that is willing to like absolutely go all out at a player, right, and just absolutely destroy you because of the fact that you're not good, you're not playing well. Buck up, like which is why, like, I would rather like, even if it's a bad decision, right, I would rather somebody like Tuchel inside there just to score everybody. I told this to Paula and or Mourinho just to instill proper discipline, because I think that he's already let the players go already.
Yeah, lah.
Like, there's too much player power in Man United, lah. So, do you think Man U can win?
Yes, I do think they can win. I will pick Man U to win, to be honest. Yeah, because of the fact that it's at Old Trafford, and because of the fact it's a Postecoglou style of play. It fits very well to the counter-attacking things that Man U can do very well, lah. Yeah, like Bruno can just like one cross, then Rashford like or in or something like that, lah. So I think like, it will be a win for Man U, maybe a 2-1. Yeah, plus you have been defending well, lah. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2-1, right? For me, I probably will go with, I think it's a draw.
Oh, okay, lah.
I think 1-1. Well. I really think it's 1-1. I just think that somehow Man United will just self-destruct. So before we conclude, you got anything else to add?
Shout out Chelsea also. I think that I know we talk shit about them, right? Like the amount of like people in the transfer team, right? But they're playing very well.
Yep.
Yeah. So they found a nice balance, like putting all of the attackers that they have in. So they demolished West Ham, who is not playing very well. So shout out to Chelsea.
Yep. So with that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki. All right, so that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you continue to support the Futbol Kaki and, of course, our other shows, which are the Copy Bros every Monday. This week is, of course, the best Linkin Park songs available. Because Linkin Park has a brand new singer, Emily Armstrong. I do think she's really good after listening to her. But then again, I'm probably on the one of the few that actually think she's good. But it's time for bands to move on, and I don't think it's a problem. So with that, we also have our flagship game show, the SG Draft Podcast, every Friday.
Yeah.
Where we draft about different topics. And last week we were talking about iconic voices. There's a lot of iconic voices. And I think the sad one was that because James Earl Jones has passed away, we were officially lost Mufasa and, of course, Mr. Darth Vader. So the good thing about the SG Draft is that, of course, you can vote for your favorite team. So voting, of course, opens up every Friday, 12 p.m. after the episode airs. And then, of course, it closes on Saturday, 12 p.m. Do vote for us on your Instagram page for your favorite teams. Now, with that, we just want to say thank you to everybody who has been subscribed to our channel. And if you have not subscribed, please do so we can continue to produce more content from you. So from me and Minette, from everybody here at the Futbol Kaki, have a great week ahead. European football is back. Champions League football is back. Bayern Munich destroyed Dinamo Zagreb 9-2. Yeah. What a weekend of football. Football is back. So from both of us here, have a great week ahead. See you soon.
Everton 19th place. Bye bye.